My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. To support this YouTube channel, go to my Patreon link below in the description section and in the pinned tweet. Subscribe to this channel. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. We're over 94,000. I have a Vimeo and Gab account. You can follow me there as well. And I'm thinking of starting a Steemit account. I'm not really sure what the site is about, but if you know anything about Steemit, let me know in the comments section if you think I should use that platform. And my books are below, but her top secret emails and but her deleted emails deals a lot with what I'm about to talk about. The Clinton Foundation has been for months investigated by the FBI and Trump's Department of Justice. There's actually also an IRS probe that started within the Obama administration. And that IRS probe in Dallas, I believe it's in Dallas, has been going on for a while, but we just found out today that not only is the Department of Justice and FBI investigating the Clinton Foundation, but they've been investigating the Clinton Foundation for months. Now, the uranium deal, in addition to the weapons deal scandal, in addition to the $156 million from 85 donors, in addition to the Clinton Foundation donor who was given access to a nuclear advisory board. Actually, he was put on a nuclear advisory board, and all these academics and military people were like, why is this guy even on this nuclear advisory board? In addition to all of that, cash flowed to the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. This is a huge, huge issue, primarily because you have yellow cake uranium in this article, it being shipped outside the country under President Obama, even though Uranium One didn't have an export license. And they eventually took control of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. And the big deal was, oh, well, you know what? They don't have an export license and they can't ship the uranium out. Well, the uranium was shipped out. And, excuse me, this all corresponds with an ongoing bribery scandal that took place on U.S. soil, where one Russian energy official was sent to prison. This person was sent to the U.S. to further Vladimir Putin's energy objectives. This is all public record. And John Solomon and some other journalists at the Hill broke that story. There was an ongoing bribery and racketeering scandal while all of this was going down. Guess who was the FBI director? Mueller. Isn't that interesting? But as the Russians gradually assumed control of Uranium One in 3 separate transactions from 2009 to 2013, Canadian records show a flow of cash made its way to the Clinton Foundation. Uranium One's chairman used his family foundation to make 4 donations totaling $2.35 million. Isn't it so funny? Isn't it such a coincidence? Isn't it so bizarre? Just by chance, you have Donald Trump donating to the Clinton Foundation. You have the Saudi prince who was just arrested, who was a heavy investor in Apple and Twitter, bin Talal, who invested. You have Uranium One, who's invested. You have countries who invested in the Clinton Foundation. What a coincidence. Vox, quick, write an article about how all of these people with different value systems, ranging from CEOs to diplomats and countries, how all of them just donate to the Clinton Foundation just as a coincidence, because you can't prove quid pro quo transactions. Of course you can. Uranium One's chairman used his family foundation to make 4 donations totaling $2.35 million. Excuse me. And shortly after the Russians announced their intention to acquire a majority stake in Uranium One, Mr. Clinton received $500,000 from a Moscow speech from a Russian investment bank with links to the Kremlin. Then we know that Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin as it was going down. There's another really interesting article from the New York Times. Uranium investors' efforts to buy mining assets in Kazakhstan and the United States led to a takeover bid by a Russian state-owned energy company. The investors gave millions to the Clinton Foundation over the same period, while Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton's office was involved with approving the Russian bid. September 2005, Frank Justra, a Canadian mining financier, wins a major uranium deal in Kazakhstan for his company. Eurasia, days after visiting the country with former President Bill Clinton. It's not a coincidence. 2006, Mr. Justra donates $31.3 million to the Clinton Foundation. So Frank Justra and excuse me, getting over a cold. So Frank Justra and the Saudi prince and Trump and the Chicago commodities trader and all of these people from different walks of life just happen to be very, very wealthy, very influential, and all donate to the Clinton Foundation. And then just miraculously, these great things happen for them. And oh, by the way, Bill Clinton visiting Kazakhstan with Frank Justra had nothing to do with any of what took place afterwards. So Mr. Justra donates $31.3 million to the Clinton Foundation. The link is below. Eurasia merges with a South African mining company and assumes the name Uranium One. In the next 2 months, the company expands into the United States. Negotiations begin for an investment in Uranium One by the Russian Atomic Energy Agency, Rosatom. From 2008 to 2010, Uranium One and former Eurasian investors make $8.65 million in donations to the Clinton Foundation. Uranium One investors stand to profit on a Rosatom deal. To grease the wheels of the Obama administration, it isn't rocket science. You don't need a letter saying we're giving money to the Clinton Foundation so we can get control of 20% of U.S. uranium, and we're friends with Bill Clinton. And oh, by the way, even if Frank Justra sold his shares, everybody he knows still stands to benefit, which could help him in other deals. Rosatom's subsidiary ARMZ takes a 70% ownership stake in Uranium One. Investors give millions more donations to the Clinton Foundation 2010 to 2011. 2010, Rosatom seeks majority ownership of Uranium One, pending approval by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. The Committee on Foreign Investment gives approval while there's an ongoing FBI criminal probe. Okay? Rosatom says, okay, Bill Clinton is paid $500,000 in Moscow by a Russian investment bank with ties to the Kremlin. October 2010, Rosatom majority ownership approved by Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. January 2013. And this, by the way, are from all the people who would be tough on Putin. Oh my God, they'd be so tough on Putin. You don't want to mess with Democrats because they'll be so tough on Putin. Yeah, right. Rosatom takes full control of Uranium One and takes it private. January 2013. I'll put this below. But the interesting thing here is this is just one. This is just one scandal involving the Clinton Foundation. Just one. And I haven't even scratched the surface. We haven't even touched the surface of this. You have Haiti. You have the weapons deal scandal broken by International Business Times and David Sirota. You have the issues with Haiti and the billions stolen at Daddy Cherry and Charles Hortel, a journalist, Haitian-born journalist, Daddy Cherry, that I interviewed in the Huffington Post. So it's not just, I try to explain about her top secret emails and about her deleted emails. It's not just about one tiny scandal and you focus on one issue and you say, I can't prove that. If it's a pattern of behavior, this is what I try to explain about her top secret and about her deleted emails. If it is a pattern of behavior, a continual pattern of criminal behavior, where money is flowing into a charity named the Clinton Foundation or a philanthropic organization, and then just miraculously, things seem to take place after the money is given. $156 million from 85 donors? Oh, well, they met with Clinton. Oh, they can't prove that, Vox says, because she met with other people. Okay, then what about the weapons deals? Well, you can't prove that. Maybe that was an Obama thing. Maybe the Democrat wanted to give more weapons than even the neocon Republican in Bush. Okay, what about the uranium issue? What about the issues with Haiti? What about the Chicago commodities trader? What about the fact that Clinton Foundation donations or the Clinton Global Initiative donations are drastically down. Why aren't people giving at the same rate? Because they have nothing to get. Because the Clintons their power has been dwindling politically ever since poor Hillary lost $1.2 billion. Then you have the issue, after a mining deal, a financier donated to Clinton. Just months after the Kazakh Pact was finalized, Mr. Clinton's charitable foundation received its own windfall, a $31.3 million donation from Mr. Justra that had remained a secret until he acknowledged it last month. The gift, combined with Mr. Justra's more recent and public pledge to give the William J. Clinton Foundation an additional $100 million, secured Mr. Justra's place in Mr. Clinton's inner circle, an exclusive club of wealthy entrepreneurs in which friendships with the former president has its privileges. It's not rocket science. This is a message with all due respect to the many, many people within the FBI that are honorable, good, decent people. And I say this with all due respect. I'm going to use profanity, but I say this with all due respect. This isn't fucking rocket science, okay? Use the Google. Just use the Google. John McCain used to say the Google. Use the Google. Watch this channel. Listen to Charles Ortel. You can read Clinton Cash. You can just watch my interviews with Charles Ortel, or just read this article. It's below. If you're an FBI agent, read the article. After a mining deal, financier donated to Clinton. And then just read up on the issues with Haiti and the Clinton Foundation. And then the IRS deal with the Clinton Foundation. And then the Chicago commodities trader. And the weapons deals. But you had an ongoing, you can even ask Mueller, ask him for a second of his time, since he has no evidence of Trump-Russia. Ask what took place with the bribery and racketeering scandal alongside the FBI, alongside the uranium deal, where the Committee on Foreign Investment just looked the other way. You have loads of money that you don't, the suspicion alone, the quid pro quo arrangements don't need to come with a letter of intent. That's not how criminals work. They give money to the Clinton Foundation. All different types of people give money, and then eventually they're rewarded in some manner. And it's not a coincidence. Whether it's meeting with Clinton as Secretary of State, or being part of a mining deal, or taking advantage of contracts in Haiti, or being put on a nuclear advisory board. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Subscribe to this channel. Give me your thoughts. Should I go on Steemit, the platform? I don't really know much about it. I have a Gab channel, Gab account, and check out my Vimeo account. Thank you so much for listening. Let's get this to 100,000, even before the indictments. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, and the indictments will hit. Pick a crime, any crime. Pick a crime, any crime. Pick a crime, any crime the Clintons have committed. Thank you so much for listening.